Hello, my name is Jimmy and welcome to the 2024 Hyundai Elantra. This specific one that we're in is the Canadian spec preferred with the tech package, which includes nice things like a sunroof, 17-inch alloys. I don't know how 17-inch alloys is part of a tech package, but it is. But all this that you get here for under 29,000 Canadian dollars is actually quite a bargain. So let me tell you everything you need to know with the Elantra and all the options you can get, and if it's maybe potentially your next compact sedan. Starting with what's new for 2024, a new front end. Looking at the previous generation to this, I mean, honestly, I can say I actually like the old one a little bit more. This is a little bit wider, and I'm sure some people would like that. And I mean, let's be honest, looks, it's 100% subjective, right? So if you like it, drop a like, put it in the comments. Let me know how you favor one over the other. On the side, it's still a very edgy Elantra. It's very similar to the previous one. Not much changes here. And on the back end, it's really the same with a little bit of difference on the rear bumper. Honestly, it's the Elantra that we know. There's really not a significant change to the exterior looks of the Elantra. And I think that's totally fine because it didn't really need an update. I think, the way that the Elantra kind of looks is it's a little edgy. Maybe it's a little too edgy for some. However, what I can say is you still get a decent amount of trunk space, 14 cubic feet. Sadly, this trunk space is just trunk space. There's really nothing to it. The only thing that you really have in here is, these pull tabs that you can pull to lower the rear seat. And sadly, the rear seat is not a split bench. It is a full folding bench. So if you need to, haul longer items, whatever it may be, you gotta drop the entire bench. So me, having my kid in the back, if I go to IKEA and I see a deal, I can't bring it home. And that's definitely something to consider. However, the rear seats, it is very accommodating. Headroom, legroom, both are very good. I'm 5'11" and I have no problems fitting in here. But it is quite bare back here. I don't get pockets behind the front seats. I don't get vents. I mean, only thing I really do get is a pair of USB ports in the middle. I don't even get an armrest. However, what I can say is because of this ginormous experience back here, it is actually really good for child seats. If you're thinking of carrying your family in here, you should have no problems. On the driver's side, this is a Kleckling infant seat. No problems getting the base in here. Plenty of space for that. The infant carrier slides in quite smoothly. The roofline isn't as high as like an SUV would be, but it's definitely not like a coupe would be, where it's definitely a lot lower. On the passenger side, this is going to be a Kleck fin rear facing. Once again, no issues. Plenty of space for that. As for the front seats, I didn't have to move that forward much at all. I'm 5'11" and I fit there perfectly. So it's a really good 4-person type of family sedan in here. If you're thinking of putting boosters or forward-facing seats, just note that these headrests, none of them move. So depending on the shape of the boosters, you may have an issue there. Just give that a shot. As for lower anchors, you got 2 sets, one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. They're a little bit hidden, but once installed, they're completely fine. As for upper anchors, they're just behind the headrest, which may be a little bit difficult to get to. What you can do is you can drop the rear seats down and then get access to it. But because it is, a full-on bench back here, not a 60-40 split, it's just a little bit more difficult than it has to be. As for the front seats, I don't mind them, but I would like adjustable lumbar support. It holds me in really well side to side. The bolsters are nice and large, but I just don't have any adjustable lumbar support to really hold my back up. And for me, because I have back problems, longer journeys in this might hurt just a little bit. But they're heated, which is nice. Same thing with the steering wheel. Heated steering wheel, great for Canadian winters. You get all the typical buttons here, and it does all the things that a steering wheel does. Nothing really too special about that. Behind that is our full digital cluster. It's actually something a little bit rare in this class of vehicle to have a full digital cluster, and it's actually quite nice. Decently customizable, and you got all the information that you really want to see in the center there. Above, no heads-up display, that's fine. You still get the 10.25-inch infotainment screen, which is lovely. The only thing is, unfortunately, no wireless Android Auto or CarPlay. So you do have to plug it in to the USB port in the center. I mean, for some, that's going to be a pain. For me, honestly, I always plug in my phone because a wireless charger never really charges a device as much as it just kind of heats it up. Any like wireless chargers in a car anyways. I mean, until, they put a MagSafe charger for my iPhone in here, I'm probably still going to plug in my device. But it works fine. There's really no issues with it. You got your XM radio thanks to the tech package, and there's nav. You know what? It's a good infotainment. It's pretty simple to use overall. And speed-wise, not bad. Definitely nothing to complain about. I do like the dedicated buttons just below, so you can easily get access to CarPlay and your volume knob right there. Same thing with like the dual zone climate control. It's a very easy to use system with all the buttons right there. You don't have to dive into a screen for that. And the overall interior, well, it's just that. It's a very simple interior. Sure, there are some scratchy plastics on the side. That's fine. It's what you expect for this kind of money. And I like, just how it's canted towards the driver in the middle here. And I can definitely appreciate that over something maybe that's a little bit more boring and bland. Oh, you do get ambient lighting in here, which actually looks pretty good. I put up a poll on Instagram and some people thought it was like a BMW or Mercedes, so that's something. Underneath the hood, we get a 2-liter 4-cylinder. It makes 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque. Mated to that, it's a CVT. Now, let's be honest, that little 2-liter isn't going to win any prizes, but if you really want to, you can put in sport, you can downshift. Okay, it really isn't that fast. I mean, it works. it works. And I actually kind of like this Tiptronic because it's so quick. Like, I know there's no actual gears. It's just, ratios that the CVT belt is kind of pre-programmed to go to, but they're so quick to go through them. And I don't know, it's just a little entertaining maybe. So it's not that bad. And then when you're driving around town, it actually has decent fuel economy as well. I was driving like on a city street, but like long distances without like stop and go. So like the best possible scenario for it. And I got like 7 liters for 100 kilometers. Like, you know what? For a non-hybrid, just regular 2-liter naturally aspirated engine, 7 liters isn't bad at all. And right now, in the past 250 kilometers, it's averaging 8 liters. That's pretty good. I mean, like I said, if you really want to, you can get a hybrid. Or if you really want more power, there's the N-Line, which gets you 201 horsepower. And of course, there's a full fat N if you want all the performance that Hyundai can give you. Or Hyundai, depending on how you want to say it. I don't know. What's right, what's wrong? Honestly, I actually really like driving this. It's not because it's like the most fun vehicle or anything like that. There's just little bits and pieces that I really like about it. I mean, the fact that it's decently light makes it just handle a little bit better. And being a sedan comparing to like every SUV that's out there, it does drive better. For 90% of people though, that honestly wouldn't matter. Let's be honest. People rather sacrifice the driving side for something that just, is bigger so that they can put more stuff in. However, like if you were to get a Kona version of this, you're paying a lot more money for it. You're saving quite a bit. And you're not only saving within the brand, you're also saving with, if you're comparing to other manufacturers. Comparing to a Honda that's similarly equipped, it's 4,000-5,000 cheaper. That's actually it's insane to me how overpriced the new Civic is. It's less than the Corolla too, and it's about 2,000 less than a Corolla. And Corolla is very similar in size to this. Same thing with the Mazda 3. Actually, the Mazda 3 is smaller. Actually, the Corolla is also smaller than this. This is actually a really good platform. You just get a lot for your money, and that's really what Hyundai is all about, right? Getting you everything that you want for the least amount as possible. Sure, you have some scratchy plastics on the side. Who cares? The parts that you do touch is perfectly fine. Dual zone climate control, the Corolla doesn't give you that. Digital cluster, Corolla definitely doesn't give you that. You know what? I think they've done like a really, really good amount of work on just surveying what people want. Sure, it might not be like the best in, a singular category, but the best part about this is you don't have to pay that much for it. And in our economy right now, that's definitely something huge. In any case, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.